A new report is offering insight into the struggle more than 6.5 million people living with dementia are facing.
The latest facts and figures report from the Alzheimer's Association estimates more than 29,000 people aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's here in Maine. 539 Mainers died from the disease in 2021.
The Alzheimer's Association says the big takeaway from the report has to do with stressors for caregivers. They say many caregivers want and need help navigating the healthcare system and finding resources.
That's been a challenge for many families given the number of nursing homes that have closed in recent years.
We know that a lot of the closures are due to not being able to find enough workers, particularly those direct care workers or essential support workers that help people, residents, over half of whom have dementia, with the activities of daily living. So with eating and with getting dressed and going to the bathroom and things of that nature. And so we really need more people that care and that are skilled at providing that care to come in and stay in those jobs.
Last year in Maine, there were 51,000 dementia caregivers providing 87 million hours of unpaid care. To care for this increasing population, the dementia care workforce will need to increase by 97% by the year 2050.
Senator Susan Collins is the co-chair of the Congressional Task Force on Alzheimer's Disease. Responding to the report, she says, quote, "I'm urging my Senate colleagues to pass legislation to continue coordinated federal investments in Alzheimer's research and develop a public health infrastructure to combat this devastating disease across the country. We must remain steadfast in our efforts to study, treat, and one day cure Alzheimer's."